Good morning, everyone. Thought today would be a good day for an update, so jump right into it here. Been doing a lot of thinking about the garden and what the future will bring for next year, so might try to go over that a little bit today. And I got my volunteer plant here, and I finally have what it's going to be. I believe, if you can see it down there, it's going to be a pumpkin, thanks to that guy there who was pollinating this morning. I did hand pollinate it too, just to be sure, but looks like he's taking care of business. Did have another one starting the very early stages somewhere else. That's the only one for now, so. And I don't have to worry about it growing in this where I use chemicals because I don't eat it. It'll be for Halloween display only. That's not a bad thing. Got these flowers here. These are really cool. They come up every year. I don't know if they spread or if this is how they were planted, but get them every year. This area is a mess. It's just an absolute mess. I weed it, and within a week it's already just a mess. So things are still growing, just not very well. The eggplant is putting on flowers, but yet to have any eggplant on it. Doesn't get a lot of sun, so that could be part of the reason. The volunteer plant here, the purple bumblebee, same thing. It's not getting a lot of sun, so not getting a lot of production. And all these pepper plants that came up are starting to get flowers ready, so find out what those are. It's going to be some kind of hot pepper, I just don't know what kind. Little ladybug down there, eating aphids hopefully. Hey, the bell peppers here, doing pretty good. Like I say, with all these weeds, it does make it difficult to get good production. Eggplant back here, and another volunteer. There's a rabbit. Another volunteer tomato plant. Also going to be black cherry. Starting to get some ugly looking circles on there, so I don't know if that's blight. But this plant usually has good resistance to disease. This eggplant does have one. And these bell peppers, this is not disease. This is sunburn. This part of the plant faces right at the sun. But that's two really nice peppers that I will not get to enjoy. But I do have some back here. They look good. I mean, I'll get not as much as if these grew in the backyard, but I'll be able to freeze some. Never did do anything here. Raspberries look good. And I cut out all the old canes, weeded it under there. You see, some of the weeds are coming back, but overall it looks really good. It's starting to get a lot of raspberries. Every single cane is starting to put raspberries on. I mean, look at that. I've never had full production, so I don't know if these will grow. Obviously, this isn't the best dirt to grow in. It's just side dirt that's never been treated with any fertilizer or anything. But yeah, if this continues the way it's going, I should have a lot of raspberries. I'm looking forward to that. This volunteer tomato, no idea where it came from. Guess I did not grow tomatoes here last year. Probably get some production out of that if I would clear it up. So, I know I promised that I was going to be moving the asparagus here. I have not done it yet. Once I do, I'm going to try to dig it up and move it down here. It says the first change I'm going to make next year is, it's always been my goal to put blueberries out front. I think if I did blueberries out front, they'd look nicer easier to weed. Put some mulch down every year. And it's acidic oil. I had a pine tree growing there for a very long time, so that's the goal for out there. Back here, I think I'm gonna stop growing turnips and beets. There's another one. Yeah, there's everywhere this year. I went camping this past weekend and they were up in the yep, there's another guy right there. You guys enjoying my garden? Sometimes they let you get pretty close. There he goes. Anyway, beets and turnips. I don't even know if I'll grow any. If I do, it's only going to be a handful because this was just a waste of growing area, growing space. So I think this is where I will put. Didn't go far, did he? This is where I'll put the asparagus. The only thing I'm not going to grow next year are beets. I mean, I don't eat them. I should eat them, but nobody else eats them in the family. I don't eat them that much. So, I don't know why to grow them. I mean, I'll grow just a few of them. The green onions have not gone to flower, which is good. We still used some last night, so nice to have that on hand. Hey, my second planting of squash is doing very well. And every bit of my logic tells me to pull out at least one of these. Just haven't done it yet. I did pull one. Take that back. I did pull out one over there. I need to pull out one over here. Which would probably be this one since it's in the middle, but it's the best looking one I have. I don't know. Oh, it would really help though. It's going to get diseased if I just leave it. Carrots. Been eating a lot of carrots. Did not know if the ones that went to seed were edible or not. Found out pretty quick they're not. They get very, very woody. In the center of the carrot, even after we steamed it and cooked it, just wasn't edible. So I need to dig up what I have in there. Carrots do so well here. I don't know, maybe I can show you inside an example of one of them. Pepper plants aren't doing anything here. I got one big pepper there, tiny one on there. I don't know. I tried, it failed. Beets do. I mean, they did bulb up really well this year. I've been trying to eat them, and they're actually still good, which kind of surprised me. I don't know how long they stay good in the ground, but steam them long enough, and they're just fine. Habanero plants finally starting to put peppers on. Yeah, I don't need a ton of them, but I would like a lot to make a lot of hot sauce. That one, and then this guy here. Not putting on a lot either. Still getting the flea beetles. I do love the eggplant. Finally got an eggplant growing here. Put those in late, so that would surprise me. There's not much going on. At least he's eating the grass and the weeds. Welcome in the yard as much as you want if that's all you're going to do. Okay. More of the squash here. And this has got kind of surprisingly thick stem on it. My first planting of squash and cucumbers both were killed by some kind of virus that, I guess, assuming the cucumber beetle spreading. I'm giving it another shot. There's some basil growing finally. Right there. I had two of them, but lost one of them. Don't know what happened to it, but one plant's enough for us. Got another habanero plant here. Doesn't have any peppers on it yet. Peppers are not doing as good as they usually do this year. Here's a squash that's been growing since about May. And it's been fighting. Finally put one on. I don't expect at all to get any zucchini off of that plant, but why kill it? Ever since I ripped out the bush and the bad pumpkins, this kale's taken off. Made the rabbit happy. I did now break off 2 or 3 leaves every day and give it to him. So, just gonna keep that going. I don't know what kind of bugs those are. They don't look good. Don't know what those were. Juicy. Hey, the tiny pumpkins, I don't know if you remember climbing up this vine, got the virus and died immediately. And trying it again. They're coming up. These things grow fast. I got plenty of time for these to grow. Just gotta hope they don't get the virus again. Set it up a lot nicer so it should grow up the trellis. I'm catching, I don't think you can really tell, I've been catching plenty of Japanese beetles. Put this bag out, and I had an infestation. It was gone in a few days. Put out 3 bags. The green beans. Green beans have been causing me a lot of work, but in a good way. Because, man, am I getting a lot of beans. I'm getting a bucket full every day. I think I'm probably letting them grow too long, but I don't know. Do you pick them at this stage, or do you pick them at this stage? Now, I've been giving them to at least right here before I pick them. And some of them get even more bulbous than that, because there's just so many of them. I don't always see them. This guy here, and look at the size of that bean. These are string beans, so sometimes they do get stringy if you don't pull the string off on the sides of it. Let me see, like this guy here. I'll still cook that. Don't know if I should, but I do. I had so many beans for a long time. This wasn't producing any beans at all. And once it started getting warm out, and it's just putting on loads and loads and loads of beans. And more beans than I can eat. I've given some away. And this one got way too big. I'm trying to keep up on it. Need to harvest again today. This volunteer tomato plant. Tomatoes are okay. They're just little cherry tomatoes. Not a lot of flavor, but enough to snack on, throw on a salad. Some more beans back here. The beans, just look how high it climbed up to. This is at least a 7-foot fence, maybe 6.5 foot, and it just comes over, growing down the backside. I bet you these would easily hit 10 feet if they had something to climb that high. So those were a success. The volunteer raspberries, not putting on as much. I don't know. I don't really expect anything, and probably should just get rid of them. Kind of an eyesore when we're sitting on the patio. And got this volunteer tomato plant. I don't know what it is yet. It's not putting on a lot of tomatoes. I'm guessing a cherry, because it does have a lot of flowers. Yeah, the cucamelons out here are starting to produce, but I have not gotten a lot of them. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of them, so I don't need a lot, but sure would be nice. At least give them away. Another pumpkin plant coming up here. Need to get some grass down around it. The grass does a good job of stopping whatever the hell these things are, because these things spread everywhere. Just look. Anywhere there's exposed dirt, they grow, and I don't know why. A couple volunteer tomato plants here. Normally volunteer tomato plants do really well. These guys might just be behind, but they're not putting a lot on. Looks like a nice tomato. A little bit closer to a beefsteak. At least it's not cherry. This one is going to be a cherry tomato. Just more to share, right? Alright, see, I get these things growing everywhere. Got more pumpkin plants. I had a few. Whatever the virus that's going around killing all my squash got them. But I do have another one growing. That makes me happy. Get a lot of these vines too. Ooh, there's a big guy in there pollinating. If you ever wondered, oh look, there's the nasty cucumber beetle. It's probably spreading the virus. Yep. I don't know what that guy is. That's a big bee. Just keep working in there, buddy. That'll be another, I think he's pollinating a, I don't know if I can get you down there. Yellow squash, same thing. They start yellow, really bright yellow, and turn into a little pumpkin at the end. Okay, eggplant. Doing pretty well. Getting a lot of these white ones. They're okay. I mean, if you like eggplant, they're good. Not a huge eggplant eating family, but I'll eat it. Been eating some. Huge squash plant here. I don't think this guy, yeah. There's one down there. So he's gonna be another yellow. Should get a lot of pumpkins this year, I guess. I don't think he has any others growing. And he's gonna choke out this eggplant, which is producing. Getting some nice eggplants. That guy's probably ready to be picked. This eggplant down here is the one that's doing the best. He's got 3 of them on there right now. This one, he hasn't hardly done anything. He does have one in the back, but he's the tallest. Just not the most productive. Watermelon's been disappointing this year. The vine grew pretty well, but I picked one because it has this brown on the end of it, but it doesn't die. Like when I cut open the one I did pick like that, everything beyond this point was still good. And if I had left it on a couple more weeks, probably would have been a good watermelon. But if you know why it's doing that, let me know, because that's really disappointing. And I don't think I have any other watermelon at this moment, so hopefully they'll start growing. The other strange thing going on this year is my jalapeno plant. I mean, look how tall it is, how healthy it looks. No peppers. I mean, these flowers here are probably the first ones I've seen. That jalapeno is probably the biggest one I have on here. But man, I mean, this should have about 40 jalapenos on it by now, if it's anything like the past. So hopefully he starts picking up in production, because we like our jalapenos. Nice big eggplant down here. I need to pick that guy. You should pick them when they're dark purple. Once they start lightening up, you've waited too long. The maple tree, try to keep it at a bush height. And my pokeweed, starting to make this nice berries. Shouldn't do it because it's popping up everywhere. I mean, I had it last year, and this is all pokeweed. But the birds like it. The berries, when they start to ripen, are cool looking dark purple, so I let it go. Another one of those bug traps there. Probably should show you this bell pepper, because I'm not going to be able to when I get in there. I can't get back this far. So I don't think it has any bell peppers yet. Also some beans in there back here, but I can't get in there because of the cherry tomatoes. I don't think there's any beans growing anyway. Okay, over here I had some kale I transplanted, and it's rebounded. It's doing just fine. And the volunteer tomato plant, that's not doing great. It's got one tomato. That's not going to do anything. And I did have, the pokeweed's all the way over here. That's pokeweed. But I got some kind of squash plant growing. Now I've heard that some volunteer squash, can be toxic if you eat it. So I guess I should really research that before I eat any of it. Okay. Got the pineapple here. Still growing. You know, we'll overwinter that and see what happens next year. Not really expecting a pineapple, but it'd be fun to try. Hey, it seems like the rabbits have given up coming in here lately. Nothing's really bothering anything in here. My second planting of cucumbers, we're doing really well. Still not doing bad. But I'm pretty sure this guy got that virus. The plants are just dying. I'm trying to save it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. And my guess is before I get any cucumbers, it'll spread. And I should use Sevin Dust, but I do not like to use chemicals. I have nothing against it. I like to eat straight out of the garden, so I don't want chemicals in it. Here's my 2 cherry tomatoes that are, these things grow out of control. This is a yellow variety. Almost looks like a currant, but I got these from Texas Roadhouse. They're on the salad. Save the seeds. Now reaping the benefits. This is the red tomato, I believe. It's yellow also. So I don't know where these red ones are coming from. I guess I have a volunteer plant back here. I can see some red ones from the other side. Anyway, I can't harvest them anyway because it's just too jammed up. Hey, paste tomatoes. They're an interesting story. They do really well. Starting to ripen, but I am getting some with these little holes in it. That's some kind of bug. It just ruins it. But look how many tomatoes are on this thing. I've been trying to keep up with taking the bad leaves off. That doesn't look good at all. I need to get back out here and do more. I'm getting a lot of them. Here's a back end view of this squash. Look how thick it is. It grows big pumpkins, so it makes sense. Yeah, my beefsteak. I mean, this plant's freaking dying. I cut off all the bad leaves. I mean, I guess that's blight. I don't know if this plant's salvageable. Look at those tomatoes. Look at all those bugs. Where are the ladybugs at? They need to be getting in here. I don't know what those are. Anyway, got a cherry tomato volunteer here. More paste tomatoes. So many paste tomatoes, but it does look like I got blight or something. I might lose this entire crop. That's depressing. Well, I need to pick off what I have. I grew way too many paste. I don't have any, like, these are all paste tomatoes. I don't know why I didn't grow more of these beefsteaks. This is what I really want. That's what I like. Look at those. Those aren't doing bad. That plant's actually doing really well. Another one back there. Looks like there's a paste tomato back there too. And another paste tomato. Okay, the story on these. So this is where these are growing really, really well. I went walleye fishing, I believe last year or 2 years ago. And where we went, they could not fillet the fish with us in less than 3 hours. So I brought them all home, filleted them myself, and buried all the carcasses in the garden over in this area. So I definitely feel like that's benefited the growth of the tomatoes. There's more cucamelons over here. Some of the plants have died, and I don't know if they got the virus or if I accidentally pulled them out when I've been weeding. But if that's the virus, I'd probably kiss them all goodbye. It's really bad this year. I'm going to have to consider treating next year. Okay, the last thing I have is my herbs. This is oregano, and I believe that's rosemary, and that's an oregano. So, first time I've ever had herbs other than basil and parsley and cilantro sprout. Cilantro you can't grow here. This goes straight to seed, so excited about that. And I think that's about it, folks. Things are growing. Harvesting a lot of stuff. Need to eat it more. Need to start eating a lot healthier. Disease does seem to be a problem in some areas, so that's kind of a shame. I'm sure I'm growing my tomatoes too close and that's not helping. But anyway, anybody who made it this far in, I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, comments, something you'd like to see a little more of, let me know, and I guess I'll see everyone next time.